Ladies and gentlemen, we got a big one for you today. Hello everybody, Dokkan Assets here. Today we are back with another Dragon Ball figure unboxing, and a behemoth stands before us. As you can see, I had to pull the camera way out to even be able to get this guy in the frame. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Masterlise Extra Dragon Ball versus Omnibus Super Omega Shenron. This guy is obviously on the bigger side because, of course, he holds the Masterlise Extra moniker. Of course, this guy being from the same Ichiban Kuji set that Trunks and Cell came from, which we have already taken a look at from this set. This was basically the last figure that I was interested in from this set because, obviously, when do we ever get an Omega Shenron figure? Basically, never. So let me do my best to show you the box for this man, because obviously he's huge. Keep in mind, obviously he's from Dragon Ball Super. This is just because they call the figures Dragon Ball Super, because, I don't know, it's more relevant to the times, I guess. Even Z figures get that treatment, which is so weird. Oh, he's so heavy, bro. Oh my gosh. Here is the back of the box. You can see the figure on display, as well as some instructions on how to put that in there. Thank you, by the way, saving the planet, not putting some extra instructions and just putting them on the back of the box. You'll love to see it. As well, Bluefin and Bandai, of course, bringing this guy overseas for the Ichiban show. You'll love to see it. And there is the other side of the box. Again, this thing is huge and also really heavy. It is like almost hard to hold. Let me show you the top. Obviously, you got your handle if you want to bring this thing wherever you go. We have our sticker of authenticity telling you that this is a real one. And the bottom is literally just the bottom of the box. All right. So let's go ahead and get this bad boy open now. I did actually get a really good deal on this figure. A while back, GameStop was actually having a sale on a bunch of different Dragon Ball figures, primarily Ichiban Kuji figures, and I actually caught this guy along with the Cell and Super Trunks. Now, funny enough, I kind of forgot that I did that because I bought Cell and Trunks, well, again, and when this guy showed up to my door, along with another copy of Trunks and Cell, I was well, a little confused, to say the least, and then I realized, oops, I bought two of the same figure, so I just have an extra I have an extra Cell and Trunks now, so that's fun. I'll probably just end up selling them in the long run, just because, obviously, you know, what am I going to do with another copy of the figure? But this guy, again, being a very good price, because of that sale, it was easy to decide to cop this guy. I was going to get him anyway, so obviously the fact that there was a deal on top of the fact that it was already a figure I was interested in was double trouble for my wallet, to say the least. Alright, let me get this flap up here. Oh my gosh, there we go. These Ichiban Kuji figures sometimes are a little bit of a pain to get open. Alright, we got that bad boy open. Let's go ahead and crack that open. Now, you do have to do some shenanigans here because you have to open this section, and then to get this part open, we actually have to bring out the knife again. I keep putting it... No! I just knocked it against Gamma 2. I have to cut this. Don't cut towards yourself, by the way. This is very stupid. I know better than this, but this is literally the only way I can do it, because cutting away from myself, I won't be able to see the actual, like, tape. Alright. Sorry, Gamma 2. Didn't mean to bonk you, brother. Alright, so now we can actually spread this apart. We can take that off. Oh my gosh. And spread it open to then pour him out of the clamshell, or pour him out of the box rather, with the clamshell around him. Oh, okay. Alright, we got him. The eagle has landed. Don't fall. Anything but that. Okay. Oh man, okay. He made it. Little bit of a rough landing, but the boy Omega Shenron made it, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Alright. Can he stand in the clamshell? That would be a no, right? Kinda. I need to hold it, but sorta. Alright, so let's go ahead and get him out. The nice thing about this guy is that he is packaged incredibly well, as you can see. It's nice that at least with these bigger figures, they take a lot of care in packaging them, obviously, so they don't get damaged and, you know, they're just not like rattling around in the box. Let's see here. We have to cut the tape here and here. I think what we'll actually do is we'll keep one side. We'll keep one side taped maybe, so then that way, yeah, we can just basically open it like a window. And that will work quite nicely. Boom. Alright. Oh, and it actually stands now. Look at that. Alright. Let's pull the boy out. Does he stand on his own? Absolutely not. Okay, let me put this guy down. Holy cow, those spikes are sharp. What is he? Oh, he's caught on the tape. Okay. There we go. Put him down. Slowly, carefully. Okay. Before we get into him, look at all of the spikes in here. First of all, this stand is... Oh my gosh! That is a chonker if I have ever seen one. Holy moly. Alright. Let's go ahead and close up the clamshell so we can not have to worry about it for the moment. And then... Wow, that clamshell will not close. Alright, well, whatever. Spikes are here. They are taped in. So let's just go ahead and pull them off the tape. This is... See, listen, usually my videos, I feel like, tend to be a little bit more on the review side of things rather than like an actual unboxing. But ladies and gentlemen, today, this one is an unboxing, that's for sure. Let's take a look at one of these spikes. That is sick. These are huge. Oh my gosh, this thing is going to be giant. Alright, we're just going to literally poke them out. Because that is quite literally the easiest way. Oh, they're hollow. Interesting. They don't have a lot of weight to them, surprisingly. You would think that they would be a little bit heavier, but they're honestly pretty, you know, pretty light. Alright, he has a ton of these as well. I mean, obviously, it's, you know, Omega Shenron's design. This is so much easier than trying to untape the bag and then, you know, all that other nonsense. This way, we can literally just get them out. This one, I'm not even going to, like, undo, right? We can literally just pull it out like that. Bam. Slide it through. I think they should be all the same, like little coupling here for the different sizes, right? So it shouldn't be too hard to actually differentiate between our spikes here, because you can tell like this one's obviously a lot more thin than the other ones, so on and so forth. Alright, boom, last spike. Pull that bad boy out of there. Oh man, I am really excited. I was excited for this because obviously, again, like I said in the beginning of this video, we literally never get Omega Shenron figures. I can't even tell you the last time that we got one, so obviously just having one is really cool, you know, being able to just own one for the collection. Oh, look at you, brother. Alright, let's go ahead and free him from his plastic prison here. This guy is crazy, dude. I love his goofy expression as well. I don't know why they decided to give him this, like, whack expression. But it's quite funny, for sure. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this off. Let's go ahead and get the bubble wrap off. We'll just toss that to the side. I'm trying to keep him standing. We'll put the stand on him in a second. Oh my gosh, his feet. Holy cow, his feet are enormous. That guy's got to be wearing like a size 14 at least. Oh, he can stand on his own. Okay, I guess it was just the bubble wrap encumbering him. Alright, well, I will give you some better shots of this guy in a minute. But holy cow. You know what, let's look at the sculpting before we put the stand on so we can put the stand on and then be chilling with my man here. We're going to do this without the spikes as well because I have a feeling that putting the spikes on him is going to be really difficult. Alright, how do I even show you this? So, the face, by the way, I think looks pretty good. Obviously, it was a little bit goofy. Omega Shenron's kind of a goofy-looking character as it is, so I think they did a pretty good job with how he looks overall. Definitely like the look of this. I like the expression, too. I like the Dragon Balls on him. Obviously, these are the Black Star Dragon Balls. You can see that they are actually painted on there with the proper colors, or the proper stars, rather, that are there. The only unfortunate thing that I see, because, like, sculpt-wise, he's very nice. right? Like the sculpt of this figure, oh, and he's got some weight too. That is so disgusting. We're gonna fix that in a minute, don't you worry. The sculpt of this figure is like very nice overall. My one thing that I think is really unfortunate is just the paint with this guy is really all over the place, right? Like on his face, looks good, right? They nailed it. Here, look at the overspray on the Dragon Balls. Some of the Dragon Balls have more spray off of them than on them, like this middle one especially. I mean, it kind of provides like a little bit of a shadow like that, I guess. But then as soon as you turn them, it's a little yucky looking. Ah, there's like some spots. Oh, there's also a scratch right there. Interesting. His hands like here. Also, you can see the paint is very messy on his knuckles right there. There's a little bit of markings on his fist too. Very interesting that like the paint is kind of shoddy in some areas. Like you can see there's some blue right there. How did that even get there? There's not even blue close unless you're counting like the back of his head there. I don't know. Kind of weird. Ooh, a little bit of gapping as well right there. That's not so bad though, because I mean, just kind of looks like how his arm is. But overall, very nice, right? All right, so let's see. Let's figure out how this works. He does stand fairly well without it, but how does this is such a thin thing on the bottom there? How does this work? All right, let's flip him around, get him to stare at the wall, put him in timeout, and then. What foot does this go on? This? It almost looks like it should go upside down, if I'm being honest with you. That's the only unfortunate thing about these, is that they don't give you instructions for the stand, which, I mean, I guess you shouldn't need it, but does it go like this? Like, I'm so confused. This shape does not match up. You know, like how you're a kid? Oh, wait, hold on. You know how you're a kid and you do those little puzzles for the shapes, right? My brain is not matching up the shape here. With the stand. I think that should be it right there, though. Yeah, okay. If we pick it up and it stands, that's good. Yeah, okay. I mean, it is kind of a loose fit, to be honest with you. No, it's okay. Yeah, he's definitely a lot more stable. He is still a little bit, like, front-heavy, kind of. But as you can see, right, just tipping the boy over here, he kind of goes back into position correctly. I'm assuming as well the back spikes will also balance him out a little bit more too. Let's go ahead and actually get those into position as well. Now that we have a good look at this disgustingness, I am assuming that let me take a look at the box here. Oh, there goes all of the packaging. Okay, so they actually tell you, right, which is nice, that the shape of the actual piece corresponds with the shape there. So that shouldn't be too hard to figure out. You know, this whole video is basically just me playing with shapes, essentially. If they fit in there, then that's the right shape to be, right? Okay, so I assume that the small ones go in as arms, right? Let's actually pull him in a little bit more. The small ones, of course, probably go into his arms, which, yes, makes sense. It's so weird that they're hollow, but I guess if they weren't hollow, they would make the figure even heavier, which would not be that great. Okay, so the big chonker, right? This one right here is a square hole, which matches up to, let me tilt this for you so you can see, the hole right there. So that one should just go, not that way, like this, right? Yes, perfect. And then, that one, no, that's not correct. That one, no. This one, yeah, because it has this little like knob on the top, right? And as you can see right there, it's got the little hole for it. Yeah, look at that. The foot stand already came off when I leaned him over. Definitely not the most sturdy connection on that. All right, shove that in there. Nice. At least the spikes do go in far enough that they don't really look like a separate piece, right? And like it looks like that's just attached to the figure, which is good. Okay, so I assume then these probably, right, just fit right in here. No, does this one go in here? Unless I've already done this wrong. Oh, no, wait. There we go. That's quite a tight fit for that one, but it does go in there. Okay, nice. Get the side of that in there too, because that one's a little... Ooh, that one's really tight for some reason. I don't know why. Alright, this one is definitely correct for that shape. Let's go ahead and put that in there. I feel like I'm like a grade school teacher trying to figure out how my students should understand how shapes go into one another. Alright. Let me also push these a little bit in there. Okay. And then, finally, the small ones. They did a good job, I gotta say. I think this is a pretty decent way to do this because obviously this would be so confusing trying to... Let me actually push that one in all the way. This would be so confusing trying to get this to, like, work. You would have to, like, letter the hole or something and then maybe, like, put a letter on the inside of the spike. But just having them be, like, different shapes, I think works really well to just, you know, like, make the... purchasee, me, basically, just like be able to understand it a lot easier and just be able to, you know, stick them in there and have it work. Alright! All spikes are now in. Look at his hedgehog back. Let's actually give him a little bit of a turnaround and see how my man looks. That is really cool. That is sick. Now that's more like the Omega Shenron I know and love. Well, you know. Wow. That is super cool if I do say so myself. Holy moly. These spikes are huge, dude. These spikes are enormous. Oh my gosh. He is so big. The spikes are going to take up so much real estate on the shelf as well. I don't even know where I'm going to put this thing, if I'm being honest with you. He is, like, arguably bigger than King Cluster Broly, which will be our figure comparison that we're going to do momentarily. Unfortunately, my current setup really doesn't allocate for the best comparison for these guys with being able to see his full height here. But I will do the best that I can for you. Of course... We have our normal Gotenks and the WCF Blue Goku. This guy is maybe about one ankle of Omega Shenron here. Obviously, this figure is huge. A very, very big behemoth. Let's measure my man up. I don't think that he is going to be any less than a foot. Let's see. Okay, so... without the spikes, let me see if I can get this in the frame. Well, with the spikes, you can see he's just about, I would say actually under 15 inches. Funny enough, on camera, it looks a little bit closer to 14, but that's the angle that we have him at. I would say, no, actually, you know what? No, he is definitely closer to 14. I think my eyes are playing tricks on me. It's so hard with the spikes there. Yeah, he's literally just above 14, which I think is actually what it looks like there. In terms of him, though, let's actually put it, like, in front here so you can get a little bit of a better idea. Put it right up against him here. He is about 12, I would say. I don't want to damage him. Yeah. Maybe more like 13, actually. On camera, it looks closer to 12, but yeah. Big. That's the answer. You are going to need a big cabinet if you really want to fit this guy in there. The spikes are definitely what kind of do you in terms of the size of this guy. Alright, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons now. So we will actually compare, we'll compare 4 figures to this guy actually. The first one will be sort of our quickie here. Let me move you to the side, good sir, because obviously you're pretty huge. We have, of course, from this Ichiban Kuji, the Dragon Ball Super Trunks. Not Dragon Ball Super Trunks, Dragon Ball Super Trunks. You know what I'm trying to say. Obviously, Trunks and Omega are pretty similarly sized because, of course, they're from the same Ichiban Kuji, so they share somewhat of the same scale, as you can see. But they definitely look pretty good together, and I think that you can tell that the sculpting is similar on these two. The shading is definitely a dead giveaway that these guys are from the same line, because the shading is quite similar. Alright, besides my man, let's go ahead and get the other Masterlise extra figure. We have the boy Perfect Cell. Now, it is kind of crazy to me that both of these are technically Masterlise extra figures. Like, Omega should almost be like a Masterlise extra figure, because oh my gosh, my man is huge. Obviously Cell is tall. Funny enough, with Omega leaning over, he's technically taller than Omega minus the spikes. But of course, because Omega is so wide and so big with the spikes, he definitely takes the cake on this battle. These two do look very good. I feel like Cell's shading, though, is a lot more plain compared to Omega, especially considering that these guys are literally from the same Ichiban Kuji. Quite interesting, if I do say so myself. Alright, so we compare the Dragon Ball Super King Cluster Broly a lot on this channel. So I figured we should switch it up a little bit with another King Cluster figure, the King Cluster Z Broly. And as you can see, wow, it is crazy to me that these guys are actually pretty comparable in size. King Cluster is sort of known for being that figure set that is just outrageously big, right? Or figure line, I should say, excuse me. But look at these two next to each other. Omega, I think, is even more chunky than this man, if I do say so myself. These two also do look pretty cool together. Obviously, it's awesome seeing all of these older Dragon Ball villains next to each other. Might just have to make like a villain cabinet at one point, even though obviously I want some fights between the villains and the heroes. That would be pretty cool. And our final figure, I actually have to go get it. Now, this is the biggest version of this character that I do have, which is kind of funny because, oh boy, old Omega is going to absolutely decimate my man in size. But we, of course, had to bring him out. Omega's mortal enemy, the best of the best, the greatest Saiyan Ichiban Kuji, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Oh my gosh, these two look so sick! Oh, this is so cool having these guys next to each other. I might just have to make some display having these two right next to each other, glaring each other down, because, oh man, it is so cool. They both give off that GT vibe very heavily. Even though both are from different Ichiban Kuji sets, I think that they work really, really well together. And honestly, the scaling might be kind of close. I think that Gogeta is definitely a little bit bigger than this figure, right? Like, I think he's definitely a little bit smaller than he normally would be in comparison to Omega. But it's fairly close. If they ever make a Grandista Gogeta, I think that one might be a little bit closer. Maybe it'll even be bigger than Omega, I'm not sure. But man, these two look so sick next to each other. The grand battle of Dragon Ball GT. It is awesome to have these guys because there are so many Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta figures out there by this point that you could basically get one of every big pose from the like 5 minutes that he's in the anime, right? But Omega, he only got one. And it's awesome to see these two finally reunited for another battle. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think of this figure in the comment section below. If you are an Omega Shenron fan, or just a fan of Dragon Ball GT, or just a Dragon Ball fan in general, you know, I'm not even really the craziest Omega Shenron guy, but I just like collecting Dragon Ball figures, and this is a sick figure. I'm not gonna lie. It's a really sick figure for sure. You, I'm pretty sure, can still cop this guy from Amazon, of course. I will leave a link in the description below. And if you do use my affiliate link down there, you will be able to cop him at no extra cost. And your boy gets a little bit of a cut, which is very, very nice. Thank you for that if you do decide to buy him from there. But again, in terms of the pricing, right, I would say that he's definitely worth the $50. Again, I paid a little bit less because, of course, it was on sale at the time, but that is about the standard price, like 50 to 55. I would even say paying 60 bucks for this guy is pretty worth it, right? I think in terms of the money to size ratio, you're definitely getting your money's worth with how big this man is, because, I mean, look at him. He's literally over a foot tall. Absolutely insane. It is a little bit unfortunate that there is certainly some paint scuffs on the version that I have here, right? It's really unfortunate that for a figure that expensive, he has any damages at all, to be honest with you, because that definitely should not be the case. But again, unfortunately, this is sort of Bandai's modern day quality control, as it were. But, you know, for what the figure is, I definitely think that it is worth the price that I paid for it. And if you would like to support me buying more giant Dragon Ball infested creatures, you could do so over on the Patreon. That is exclusively for Dragon Ball figure content. So thank you guys so much if you do decide to support me over there. But of course, not obligated, and you guys watching the videos is what matters the most to me. So thank you guys so much, and I hope you enjoyed. I will catch you in the next one. Dokkan Assets out. Peace.